Let me ask you something that most men never stop to think about. What's the very first thing you drink when you wake up? For many, the answer comes fast: coffee. That hot, bitter cup feels like a ritual, almost a lifeline. It's the smell in the kitchen, the comfort in your hand, the idea that without it you couldn't possibly start the day. But here's the truth most men over 60 don't realize. That first drink could be silently shaping your entire day, your energy, your clarity, even the way you sleep at night. And if that first drink is coffee, you may be setting yourself up for the very struggles you're trying to escape. Think about it. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body is already running low on water. You've lost nearly a pound of fluid just through breathing and sweating in the night. Your blood is thicker, your circulation slower, and your brain cells are thirsty. And what do most men do? They pour in caffeine, which doesn't hydrate, it dehydrates further. Instead of refilling the tank, they drain it. That's why so many mornings feel the same: jittery hands, a nervous buzz, followed by a mid-morning crash that leaves you yawning by 10 a.m. Coffee alone doesn't solve the problem, it makes it worse. But here's the good news. There is one simple drink, so simple you've probably overlooked it, that can flip the switch. A drink that rehydrates your body, clears your head, steadies your energy, and even helps you sleep better at night. And the best part? It's already in your home. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what that drink is, why it works, and how it can reset your mornings, so you can feel more alive at 60, 70, or 80 than you thought possible. My name is Dr. Katherine Rocker, and for more than 30 years, I've dedicated my work to men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. I've sat across the table from men who were CEOs, mechanics, teachers, soldiers, men who had lived full lives, raised families, built careers. Strong men. Proud men. But in my office, they often came with the same quiet question in their eyes. Why do I feel so drained in the mornings? And I'll tell you what I've learned. Most of the time, it wasn't a disease stealing their mornings. It wasn't even age itself. It was the way they started their day, the habits they trusted, the routines they never questioned. And often, it came down to something as simple as what they drank first thing in the morning. I've seen it happen again and again. Men who thought they needed more medication, stronger coffee, or expensive supplements discovered instead that their body wasn't broken, it was just thirsty. Thirsty for a kind of support that coffee alone couldn't give them. Now, I'm not here to take coffee away from anyone. I enjoy a cup myself. But what I am here to do is show you that coffee isn't the foundation, it's the accessory. The foundation is hydration. And when you get that part right, the rest of your day changes. What I want you to understand is that your mornings are not just a blur of routine. They are the most powerful lever you still control. And the beautiful truth is, you don't need complicated routines or hours of exercise to feel different. Sometimes, it begins with the glass sitting right in front of you. So as we walk through this together, I don't want you to hear me as a doctor standing at a distance. I want you to hear me as a companion, someone who has guided thousands of men through this same struggle, and who has seen the spark return to their mornings, and to their lives. And my promise is this: by the end of this conversation, you'll know exactly why this one drink matters, how to make it part of your life, and how to feel its impact not just in your mornings, but in every hour that follows. Let me introduce you to Thomas, a 71-year-old retired engineer from Ohio. When Thomas first came to me, he didn't complain of pain or illness. What he described was something quieter, something harder to put into words. He said, "Doc, I don't feel sick. But I don't feel like myself either. My mornings drag. My head feels heavy. I drink coffee, and for a moment I think I'm okay, but then I crash, and I just coast through the day. Thomas's mornings always looked the same. He'd roll out of bed around 7 o'clock, head straight to the kitchen, and pour himself a big cup of coffee. No water. No food. No light. He'd sit at the table, sip his coffee, and stare at the newspaper. Some days, he'd have a sweet pastry with it. Most days, he skipped breakfast altogether. And at first, he felt like the coffee worked. But by 9:30, his hands would start trembling a little. By 10:30, he was yawning, his head cloudy, his energy flat. He'd tell himself, maybe I need a second cup. By the afternoon, he often needed a nap. And when night came, he found himself restless, staring at the ceiling, wondering why he couldn't sleep. It wasn't just his body that was struggling, it was his spirit. He told me, I used to wake up with purpose. Now I just wake up tired. I feel like I'm starting the day already behind. And perhaps the hardest part? He believed this was normal. That it was just the reality of being in his 70s. That there was nothing he could do but accept it. But what Thomas didn't realize, and what so many men don't, is that his body wasn't failing him. It was simply thirsty. Thirsty for the very thing he was ignoring every morning. Before his first sip of coffee, his body was already running on empty. And without that refill, no amount of caffeine could give him the strength or clarity he needed. So what was really happening to Thomas, and to so many men who start their mornings with coffee instead of water? The answer is simple biology. During the 7 or 8 hours you're asleep, your body loses water. Every breath you exhale carries out moisture. Your skin releases fluid through sweat, even if you don't feel it. By morning, you've lost nearly a pound of water without even moving. That means when your eyes open, you're already starting the day at a deficit. Your blood is thicker, your circulation slower, your brain cells less efficient. Now, when your body is in that state, what it craves most is hydration. Water thins the blood back to its normal flow, helps your heart pump more easily, and flushes out waste products that build up overnight. When you give your body water first thing, you're not just quenching thirst, you're literally turning the engine back on. But here's the trap most men fall into. They reach for coffee. And while coffee does provide a jolt, it's also a diuretic. It pulls water out of the body instead of restoring it. Worse, caffeine spikes cortisol, the stress hormone, which is already naturally high in the morning. That double surge can leave you feeling wired for a moment, but drained shortly after. It's like stepping on the gas in a car with no oil in the engine. Sure, it moves, but not for long, and at a cost. Hydration, on the other hand, is the quiet power move. Water delivers oxygen and nutrients to every cell. It supports digestion, keeps joints lubricated, and wakes up your metabolism. And for men over 60, this is especially important, because the body's thirst signals grow weaker with age. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already behind. One of my patients once told me, "Doc, I thought my fatigue was age. Turns out, it was dehydration." And he was right. The science is clear. Before you put anything else in your body in the morning, you need to restore what you've lost. That's why I tell every man I see, the first sip you take in the morning can either drain you or restore you. Coffee without water leaves your body gasping. But a tall glass of water first thing? That tells your system, we are ready, let's begin. So let's finally answer the question, what is the drink that changes your day? It's not a supplement. It's not an expensive powder. It's not some secret formula sold online. It's water, plain, simple, and often overlooked. Now, you might be thinking, that's it? Just water? And yes, that's it. But don't underestimate it. Water is the foundation your body has been asking for, especially after a long night of sleep. It's the one thing your brain and heart cannot function without. Here's why it works. When you drink 12 to 16 ounces of water first thing in the morning, you instantly replenish what your body lost overnight. Your blood becomes less viscous, so your heart pumps more easily. Oxygen delivery to your brain improves, which clears the fog and sharpens your thinking. Your digestion wakes up, your metabolism switches on, and your joints begin to move more freely. It's like pulling back the curtains on your body. Suddenly, everything lights up. And if you want to take it one step further, there are 2 simple upgrades I often recommend: a squeeze of lemon. This adds a boost of vitamin C, supports your digestion, and helps alkalize your system. Many men notice less bloating and a cleaner, fresher feeling in their gut. A pinch of mineral salt. Just a small amount can help replace electrolytes, especially if you sweat heavily at night. It also supports healthy blood pressure by improving circulation. That's it, no complicated recipes, no expensive hacks. Just a glass of water, possibly with a touch of lemon or salt. Let me share Thomas's story again. When he replaced his first cup of coffee with a glass of water, he was skeptical. "Doc, this is too simple to make a difference," he said. But within 10 days, he noticed something powerful. He woke up clearer. He no longer needed that second cup of coffee by 10 a.m. His energy felt steady, and when bedtime came, he fell asleep more easily. By the end of a month, he told me, "I can't believe water is doing this. I feel like I have myself back." The beauty of this habit is its simplicity. It doesn't matter where you live, how old you are, or what your morning looks like, you can do it. The first drink you choose sets the tone for everything that follows. And when that first drink is water, you're giving your body exactly what it has been waiting for. So tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, remember this: your body is already thirsty. And the best gift you can give it is the simplest one: water. I want you to imagine 2 men. Both are 70 years old. Both live in the same neighborhood. Both wake up at the same hour. But the first drink they choose each morning leads them down very different roads. Man of the coffee first path: this man wakes up feeling heavy and slow. He heads straight to the kitchen, pours a big mug of coffee, and takes his first sip before anything else touches his lips. For a few minutes, it feels like he's waking up. The caffeine kicks in, his eyes open a little wider. But soon, the cracks begin to show. His hands shake lightly. By 10 a.m., his mind is foggy. His stomach feels unsettled, sometimes acidic. He yawns, fights fatigue, and tells himself, "I just need another cup." By the afternoon, his energy is gone. He naps, then lies awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering why his body doesn't cooperate anymore. To him, this cycle feels like aging. But in reality, it's the cost of starting every day already dehydrated. Man be the water first path. Now picture another man, same age. Same house. Same morning hour. But instead of coffee first, he pours a tall glass of water. He drinks slowly, letting it refresh his system. Then, and only then, he enjoys his coffee. The difference is striking. By 9 a.m., his head feels clearer, not foggier. His circulation is flowing, his digestion smoother. He's not wired and crashing, he's steady. He moves through the day with energy that carries, not energy that collapses. And when night comes, his body thanks him with deeper, more restful sleep. 2 men. 2 paths. One feels trapped in fatigue and frustration. The other feels lighter, sharper, and more alive. The only difference? One man treated coffee as his fuel, while the other treated water as his foundation. It's not a question of whether you drink coffee or not. It's a question of what comes first. That single choice, the first drink, sets off a cascade in your body that either steals your energy or restores it. So tomorrow morning, when you walk into your kitchen, ask yourself, which path will you take? Before I show you how simple this habit can be, let's clear up some of the traps, the mistakes I see over and over again in men over 60. These are the habits that seem harmless but quietly drain your energy, fog your mind, and even disrupt your sleep. Mistake 1: coffee before water. This is the most common. Men wake up, feel groggy, and head straight for coffee. It feels like a jump start, but what's really happening is different. Your body is already dehydrated, and coffee pushes you further into that hole. Caffeine also spikes cortisol, your stress hormone, which is naturally high in the morning. That double spike makes you feel jittery, then leaves you drained by mid-morning. Mistake 2: sugary juices. Many men believe fruit juice is a healthy start. But most bottled juices are loaded with sugar, sometimes more than soda. Yes, you get a quick burst of energy, but within an hour your blood sugar crashes. That crash leads to fatigue, irritability, and more cravings. For men already at risk of diabetes, this habit is especially damaging. Mistake 3: vitamin waters or sodas. Some men reach for colorful bottles with labels like energy or hydration boost. But look closer, they're filled with artificial sweeteners, dyes, and chemicals your body doesn't need. And soda? Even the diet versions disrupt your metabolism and increase belly fat over time. These drinks trick you into thinking you're hydrated, but your cells are still starving for real water. Mistake 4: energy drinks. This one worries me most. A lot of older men try to keep up with younger habits, grabbing energy drinks that promise alertness. But these drinks are loaded with caffeine and stimulants that strain the heart, raise blood pressure, and in some cases, trigger dangerous rhythms. At 25, you might recover. At 65 or 70, your body pays a much steeper price. Mistake 5: skipping a morning drink altogether. Some men say, I'm not thirsty in the morning, so I don't drink anything until later. But thirst signals weaken with age. By the time you feel thirsty, your body is already running low. Skipping hydration in those first hours leaves your blood thicker, your joints stiffer, and your mind foggier than it needs to be. The truth is, none of these mistakes happen because men don't care about their health. They happen because we've been conditioned to think coffee, juice, or flashy drinks are the solution. But the reality is simpler. Your body is asking for water, and when you give it anything else first, you miss the very signal that sets your day in motion. So here's the bottom line: if you recognize yourself in one of these mistakes, don't feel guilty. Feel hopeful. Because the moment you change that first drink, you'll begin to notice a difference faster than you think. One of the first things men ask me when I suggest water before coffee is, Doc, will I really notice a difference, and how soon? The answer is yes, and faster than you think. Your body responds quickly when you finally give it what it's been missing. Let me walk you through what usually happens. After 7 days, the fog begins to lift. By the end of the first week, most men feel it. That heavy, sluggish start begins to fade. You wake up, drink your glass of water, and within minutes, you feel clearer. The dryness in your mouth eases, your joints feel less stiff, and your head isn't weighed down with that same morning fog. Thomas, the retired engineer I told you about, looked at me after his first week and said, Doc, I didn't think water could do this. I feel lighter when I wake up. After 14 days, the rhythm restores. 2 weeks in, the changes run deeper. Your digestion improves. Your energy is steadier through the morning without the mid-morning crash. You fall asleep more easily at night, because your circadian rhythm is syncing better with the day. Even your mood starts to shift. You feel less irritable, more focused, more present. One patient, Gerald, 68, told me, "My wife noticed before I did. She said I seemed more patient, more alive." That's what hydration does when it supports your hormones and circulation. After 30 days, the transformation is clear. By the 1-month mark, this isn't a habit anymore, it's a rhythm. You wake up expecting water, and your body thanks you for it. Your mornings feel smoother, your memory sharper, your energy stable. Even your evenings feel different. You fall asleep more naturally, and you wake up refreshed instead of groggy. Some men even notice measurable changes: lower blood pressure, better lab results, or a drop in weight. But the biggest change is in how they feel. As one of my patients put it after a month, "Doc, I thought I was just getting old. Turns out, I was just getting dehydrated." That's the beauty of this small change. 7 days gives you hope. 14 days restores your rhythm. 30 days rewrites your mornings. And it all begins with one simple choice: the drink you reach for when the day begins. For decades, men have been told a simple story, that coffee is the fuel of the morning. That as long as you pour a strong cup, you'll be ready to face the day. It became so normal that nobody questioned it. Coffee was seen not just as a habit, but as a necessity. But here's the truth I've seen after 30 years of practice: coffee alone is not enough. In fact, for men over 60, coffee first thing can quietly work against you. Coffee is a stimulant. It tricks your body into feeling alert by pushing adrenaline and cortisol higher. But it doesn't restore what you've lost overnight. It doesn't rehydrate thickened blood, or help circulation, or bring oxygen back to your brain. In other words, it doesn't solve the problem, it masks it. And worse, without water first, it can leave you more depleted than before. Think of it like this. Imagine you wake up and your body is like a dry sponge. Water softens the sponge, makes it absorbent, ready to function. Coffee poured onto a dry sponge doesn't soak in, it just runs off and leaves it brittle. That's what happens inside your body when you skip hydration and reach for caffeine. Now, I'm not here to tell you coffee is bad. I enjoy it myself, and many of my patients still drink it. The key is sequence. Coffee should come after hydration, not before. When you lay the foundation with water, your body is primed, circulation restored, brain cells refreshed. Then, if you choose to have coffee, it actually works better. It sharpens instead of spikes, it supports instead of steals. This is the false belief I want to break once and for all. Coffee is not the foundation. Water is. Coffee may feel like the ignition switch, but without water, you're turning the key in an empty tank. So the next time you wake up and think, "I just need my coffee," pause. Ask yourself, what if the energy you're chasing has been waiting for something simpler, something older, something your body has been asking for all along? The answer isn't to throw coffee away. The answer is to give your body water first, so that coffee becomes a tool, not a crutch. I want you to remember something: you are not alone in this. Across the country, thousands of men your age are waking up every morning facing the same decision: what do I drink first? And most of them, just like Thomas, never stop to question it. They reach for coffee out of habit, not realizing it's stealing more than it's giving. But here's the powerful thing: when men start sharing their stories, everything changes. In my practice, I've seen one man's small shift inspire another. One patient told his buddy at the gym, "I started with a glass of water before coffee, and my mornings feel lighter." Within a week, his friend tried it too. Soon, they both were talking about how they felt sharper, steadier, more alive. That's how momentum grows, not through lectures, but through men encouraging men. And that's why I want to hear from you. What's the first thing you drink when you wake up? Is it coffee, water, juice, or nothing at all? Write it in the comments. Don't underestimate how powerful your story could be. Another man might read it and realize, that's me, I can change too. Because this isn't just about hydration. It's about connection. When men in their 60s, 70s, and 80s speak openly, they prove something important: we are not done. We are not fading. We are still capable of change. So let's make this a circle of strength. Share your wins. Share your struggles. Share the little adjustments that worked for you. I read every single comment because every story matters. And together, those stories form a community that reminds every man watching, you are not too late, and you are not alone. If there's one truth I want you to carry with you from today, it's this: mornings are not just another part of the day. They are the foundation, the signal that tells your body whether to rise with strength or stumble with fatigue. And the beauty is, you don't need something complicated, expensive, or impossible to get started. The power lies in something so simple it's almost easy to overlook: a glass of water. Think about that for a moment. A single choice, the first drink you take when you open your eyes, can decide whether your heart pumps easier, whether your mind feels sharper, whether your sleep tonight is deeper. That's not just hydration. That's renewal. That's your body thanking you for respecting it. I've seen men transform with this one habit. Men who thought decline was inevitable discovered they were never broken, they were just thirsty. And when they gave their bodies what they needed, their energy returned, their focus sharpened, and their confidence came back. So tomorrow morning, when you step into your kitchen, pause. Don't let routine make the decision for you. Make the choice for yourself. Pour that glass of water, drink it slowly, and notice how your body responds. That one act is a declaration: I'm not done. I'm still here. And I'm taking back my mornings. And now, I want to hear from you. In the comments, write the words, "Tomorrow, I start with water." Because when you put it into writing, you make it real, not just for yourself, but for every man who reads it and thinks, if he can do it, so can I. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a brother, a friend, or a father who needs the reminder that life after 60 is still a life of strength. Click like so more men can find this truth. Subscribe so we can keep walking this road together. Because this isn't the end. This is the beginning of mornings that restore, mornings that heal, mornings that give you back the life you thought you had lost. One glass. One choice. One new day.